Hello and welcome to another video from CBS Tech. It's too big to get in the shot easily with the tripod on the table, but the packaging has already fallen off. But I haven't opened it. I bought my original Sony La Scala S2 system, this one here, and there's the date because I can't remember it before I do the editing. And I bought it because I wanted a slot loading cassette drawer, and I asked Techmo which one he would recommend. And he said with auto BIOS I was after, and he said I should get that one, so I did. And I've recently had the cassette deck. I did my own belts. That was a bit traumatic. Here's the thumbnail for that video, which will be in the description box, of course. And then lo and behold, after all these years, the Minidisc player for it had turned up, and that's what I bought. Oh, that was loud. There's a buy it now. Here's the details, and there's a little bit of a mark. Well, it's not very well packed, is it? Look, flapping around there in the box. Hopefully there's no damage. One of the reasons you record stuff, I suppose. Let me get out of the box. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got a sticker on it. Insert the disc with the arrow pointing this way when an incompletely inserted MD cannot be pulled out. The MD recorder self-lock system has gripped the MD. Insert the MD completely and then press eject. Okay, fair enough. Right, let me rearrange the camera. So the plan is today to test it just to see if it's working. If so, it's going straight into my stack, my hi-fi stack. And a bit of spit on that one. Oh, that's a shame. I don't know whether that's... I'll have to check the original listing, see if that was on there, because if it's been poorly packed and there's damage caused while it's been poorly packed, then I'm going to have a little chat with the seller. Now, I did know there's a little scratch on it just here, just at the top there, and I think that's a scratch as well. But it's in okay condition, and they're so rare that I'm prepared to live with that, and unless I can get a perfect one at some point. So there's the whole unit. So let me see if I can figure out a way to power it up and get some audio out of it without me putting it in this stack that I've already got, and then we'll test it out. So here's the back. I was aware it was listed, it was in the description that this had been ended up on the... some sticky tape had been used to hold the plug on, and that's left that there, just black packing tape. So that plug, I'm going to risk it, but you know, you should really always open up the plugs and test that they've got the right... in fact, I'm going to do that off camera. No, I'll do it on camera, because some of you from non-UK countries might be interested to see what's inside the plug. But the inputs and outputs we've got line in and out, so that's good. I'll be able to run that straight to an amplifier. Different amplifier. We've got digital in and out, optical that is. That's the bus for connecting up to the rest of the system. That, I don't know why that's there. That is where the 3-pin plug sits for transportation, which I think is a good feature. And that's about it for the back. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, I've got the remote for it as well. So if we just plug it in and hook the output up to an amp, we've got the remote and we can see where it's going to be working. So let me get that organised. Plug check. Yep, in there we've got N for neutral, blue is neutral, brown is live, that's live, I know that for good. There's our fuse, which is... can't read it. 1 second. £5 amp. That sounds about right. If it had an amplifier in it, it might be higher. But 5 amp sounds about right. Not earthed, but it's only a 2-core cable, so we don't need an earth connector there. So that's that done. Right, so I've got my audio plugs there, so it's going out, and that goes, the other end of that cable is a 3.5mm line out jack plug, which handily goes into the front of my Sony DHC MD373. This one here I bought and did a video on. And we've got the remote control, which is in pretty good condition on the surface. Going to need 2 AA's. These are part used ones at 1.48 volts, so they should be fine for the time being. Just put those in my box to reuse for my Minidisc stuff. Right, are we plugged in? Yes we are. Let's turn on the power. Okay, is there a Minidisc in it? Let's press the eject button. No. Okay, let's try that. Oh, look at that display. Nothing in there, so let me get my test disc. So the listing says it plays some discs and not others. Ew. That's not right. It's got hold of the disc and doesn't let it go. Oh no, that's not good. Let's power off at the plug. Oh my god. I hate eBay, I really do. Okay. Oh no. Right, it could be a belt for the eject and the inject, is that the right word? Of the Minidisc. But the question is, what do I do? The seller said it will play some discs on others, but now I can't even get a disc going in or out. So do I take it out, do I open it up and see what's what, or do I just send it back to him and say, give me my money back? I think I'll get my screwdrivers out. Okay, we're powered off. Actually, the way that popped out there, on there, someone's been in here before, I reckon. That was too easy. Right, so let's change the camera angle. Right, so I think you can see everything. I'm going to turn the power back on now. And I'm going to press eject. Nothing, because the power's off. Okay, I've got to press eject now, see what happens. Nothing. It's all a bit loose, isn't it? I'm going to push the disc in and we'll see what spins. Oh, I see the problem here. You see it. Let me get in closer. There's supposed to be a belt round there. So hopefully this is just the eject mechanism that the belt was missing from. So the belt goes, looks like it's come off of this one here. Should go around that one there. Don't know where it comes from though. So this is clearly not working. It's not as described by the seller. So before I do any more work on it, I'm going to contact the seller and see what he says. Right, that belt has really had it. It's all sticky. But I think I might be able to manually eject the disc. Oh, it's stuck. So why is that stuck in? Why is this all loose? Okay. It's all loose. Well, it's £100 I'm not prepared to waste actually, so this is probably going to go back. Okay, so that's what the seller said, but there's no way in the world that this was able to accept a disc before he sold it. If you see on the photos here, it just shows that there's no disc. So he says it can play some discs and can't play others, but there's no way with these belts that they're completely melted. So I've messaged him, but what I'm doing now is I'm just manually bringing this disc into the player, and we'll see if it actually does play the disc. Oh, that's a bit fancy, isn't it? So I assume that goes. This is all a bit loose. So what was I doing a minute ago? Hang on. There we go. So you see the disc will be pulled in a minute, or is it pushing it out? Oh yeah, so the disc goes out if you push it one way, comes in if you pull it the other way. Not quite sure how this is supposed to work. Is the disc in? I don't think it is. This is all loose though, look. So that's pushing the disc back out again. Something stopped there. Okay. Let's see what happens when we turn it back on and push it back in. There's one button there somewhere. Yeah, that one's spinning now. But you can't turn this one. So this one should be turning. We'll watch this go here. I'm covered in sticky mess now. Oh, got to be careful, this is live. I've got my hands right near the power stuff. So that's pulling it in. If it's just one belt, then yeah, I can put a new belt on it. It's going to take some time sorting that mess out though. This top plate seems to be moving in. Don't know why. Right, so I've done half a job cleaning up the crap. It's taken me about 3/4 of an hour, something like that. I've put a belt on which is too big from a pack of cheap belts. I know it's too big, but it's not completely clean yet, and I can't really get into the groove. The groove is so small. It must be for a triangle belt, not a triangle, but a square belt, which then fits in edge first. So I don't mind if this belt gets covered in the sticky residue from the old belt, because then I can take it off and put the right size on. So I've turned it on and it does appear to turn. That's at the mains. I'm going to turn it on the power switch on the front now. See what happens. I can see it says reading TOC. Yeah, but I'm going to try and find the eject button. There it is. It says eject at the front. Ooh, right. Okie dokie. Okay, that's fine. And I can see just through there, I can actually see it saying TOC reading. It's not even spinning. And it just ejects it again. Now the seller did say that it reads some discs and not others, and there's lithium grease all over the place on this. I think someone's gone in and over lubricated it. We can see the disc isn't even spinning here. I think you can see the disc there, it's not even spinning. So maybe there's another belt somewhere. But after a fashion, it's like taking the disc in and ejecting it now. Not very well, I must say. So I think what's happening is it either can't detect the disc or it's not spinning the disc. So I'm going to have a little route around. This might end up going back to the guy and I'm half fixed it already. Okay, here we go. I've got my Ross cleaning disc in. I had my demo disc in there and I noticed that once it did spin. So I thought I'll try it with my Ross cleaning disc, and then if it does spin, then it might wipe any dust off the lens, and it has managed to read the table of contents. We can see there's 6 tracks on there, so I'm now going to press play. I'll turn it up.
Start cleaning the pickup lens. Press the skip button to move on to step 3.
Oh, so there we go. So basically, as you move to track 3, how's it going to work? Oh, I'm on edit. Okay, that's fine. Buttons aren't working. I can hear it skipping forwards. Where's that remote gone? Oh, it is. There we go. CD player. Is that it there? There we go.
The cleaning process is complete. The cleaning process is complete.
So let's try my demo disc again. Unfortunately, I think this one's just standard play. It's not a MDLP one. And I don't think that disc is spinning again. So I wonder if there's another belt in here somewhere. I'm trying a different disc now. Okay, so I'll see if I can show you the mechanism. It's reading some discs and not others. Right, so I can't quite get in there to show you the disc, whether the disc is spinning. I've got a funny feeling it can't read the disc, and that's the laser pickup there. So I'm going to try and clean that with a bent Q-tip, see if that makes any difference. Okay, this is interesting. So let's zoom out a little bit. The disc is spinning each time now, but some discs it reads and some discs it doesn't. After I clean the laser, it's reading a bit better. So let's play this, see what happens.
Front, center, side, left, side, right, front.
Okay, so that's the at least it's playing left and right in the correct way. So let's try this demo. I might have had problems with this demo before. This demo disc. See it spinning the disc. Trying to read the torque. Eject. So let's try another disc. Not like again on a different disc, but I'll show you that this is the read-write head, and you can see it seeking. I'll show you again. As I said, it's the read-write head, but that's actually the record head. But it is moving, so it looks like it just can't see some discs. So let's put my left-right disc in again and see what happens. So yeah, it can read that disc. So let's play that disc again.
Front, center, front, center, side,
And I found the
left,
button. That's
side,
the button to
left,
switch tracks.
side, right, side,
Let's
left,
watch this move
front,
across.
Center, front, center, front.
Oh, it's only got one track on it.
Front, center, front, center, side, left, side.
So that one's
left,
working.
side.
My whale song. It's not even that one. My demo. And my Ross cleaning disc. That one it can read. Bit loud. Let's get forward tracks. Skip back. Forward and back. Let's find me some discs, because it's a bit weird. Okay, time for some investigations. Right, so it is playing some discs now. Now I've cleaned up that belt. It is playing some discs, but I'm going to wait for the seller to come back to me and let me know what he's. I want to know what he thinks. Actually, I've still got a load of crap underneath these. I've put the new belt on, and it's still all messy underneath, so I'm going to try and clean that up now. But essentially, it is playing some discs, but I've had to put a new belt on, which the seller didn't tell me about, and I am literally covered in horrible melted belt now. Right, please excuse the vertical video. I've now got it in the stack, hi-fi stack that it should be in. It's now playing some discs. It typically, if it plays a disc once, it will continue to play it most of the time. If it won't play a particular disc, then it usually won't play it at all, no matter how many times I try, but sometimes it will play it. So discs it can't play, sometimes it manages to play, and usually discs it can play quite regularly. The seller did have that as the description, that it plays some discs, but what he didn't have was the fact that it wouldn't accept a disc, because the belt would turn to glue. So I spoke to the seller, I messaged the seller on eBay, and I said to him, what's the situation? There must be more of a story to this. When did you last test this hi-fi system? And he said he tested it when he moved, which he reckons was the end of last year. So it's about 10 or 11 months ago. I don't think the belts would have been good enough to work 11 months ago and then completely turn to tar 11 months later. So I said to him, look, it's not working. You sold it as used, and if you list something as used, it must be in fully working order. That disc won't play. So you can't sell it as used. You can't list it as used if it is only in a partly working order. So anyway, I told him it wasn't working, and I didn't tell him I'd cleaned up the belts or anything. And I said to him, would you consider a partial refund? He said, no, I wouldn't consider a partial refund. He said, send it back to me and then I'll resell it as not working. And I thought, well, I've spent a lot of time on it, about 2.5 hours cleaning up that belt and putting a new belt on. And I've had to wait 3 years, over 3 years, for one of these to come up in a condition and a price that I was prepared to pay. So I thought, I'm just going to chalk it up to experience. It cost me just over £100, but it is now, despite the fact I put in nearly 3 hours of work, it is now working as he described it. So what do you think could be the problem with this? I've got a portable Sony player which plays all discs, but it skips on some discs, and I think it might be that it's got a laser which needs adjusting. And I looked up previously in the service manual on the portable player, and you can do the adjustments in the service menu. And I've looked up the service menu for this one, and you can do some adjustments, but it's really poorly written. The service manual is really poorly written, and I'm not sure what I'm doing from the service manual. And if I brick this, then I've got a lot of time invested in it and a lot of money invested in it. So what do you think I should do? Do you think I should attempt to go through the service manual and get it fixed properly, or just put up with the fact that some discs it will play and some discs it won't play? So comments down below, please. I'll be interested in finding out what you think. There is another problem though with this hi-fi unit. So I've had the cassette deck professionally tuned. I don't use a DVD player. I don't use the tuner. But the amp doesn't work. Sometimes you turn it on, like now it's not actually working. Let me see if I can, but if you give it a sharp tap on the top, it will work. Doesn't always do that, but sometimes it will work like that, and then after a little while it will just cut out again. It'll be a click and it will cut out again. But the other day I had it playing all day and I was very happy because I was playing my new Minidisc player on it. So that's a separate issue. I think I know what it is. What do you think on that? So there's two questions. Should I run this? Should I try the service menu on this and see if I can fix it with the risk of breaking it permanently, bricking it? And I don't think I'm good enough to do the repair on this. What do you think the repair is going to require? How do you think I need to repair that? What is the fault, do you think? But for now, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.